Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. 1030 days left the Russian invasion of Ukraine. This morning, Ukraine, and in particular Kyiv, was under missile attack by Russia. Explosions and air defense work were heard all over the city. According to the local authorities, Iskander and Kinjal missiles were used. At least one civilian was killed, 4 injured, fires from debris registered in 4 districts, buildings and cars damaged. Warehouses caught fire in the Kyiv region as well. Yesterday, President of Russia Vladimir Putin held a press conference during which he expressed regret that he hadn't launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine earlier, reports Ukrainska Pravda. He made this remark when asked whether he would change his mind if he could return to February 2022. Putin said that he also would have prepared better and claimed that both occupation of Crimea in 2014 and full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022 were spontaneous. Putin reiterated his accusations against Ukraine, claiming that Kyiv had refused to implement the Minsk agreements and now refuses to negotiate. He mentioned 8 years of war and the destruction of everything associated with Russia in Ukraine. The Russian leader proposed a technological experiment, saying that the West and Ukraine can decide on a target in Kyiv for a Russian Oreshnik Hazel missile strike and then try to intercept it. Putin reiterated a propaganda claim that there is no way anyone could shoot down an Oreshnik missile. He also said that the missile has a range of up to 5,500 kilometers. According to Putin, even air defense systems deployed in Romania and Poland are not capable of intercepting an Oreshnik. This suggestion received an acute response from the President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelenskyy. He said at a press conference in Brussels, quote, "Do you see who we are dealing with? Today, the Kremlin's comrade said that Russia is offering a technological duel. He said we'll hit Kyiv with the Oreshnik missile somewhere and Ukraine can try to intercept it, and let's see what happens. Do you think this is a mentally stable person? They are just mental," unquote. Later, Zelenskyy was even more blunt in his language. On his X, the Ukrainian president shared a video clip where Putin, with a smile, offers this duel and commented, "People are dying and he thinks it's interesting, dumbass." Andriy Yermak, head of the president's office, later called Putin a mad old cretin. This is not the first time this type of language was used in regards to Putin. In February 2024, US President Joe Biden called Putin a crazy son of a bitch during a fundraising event in San Francisco. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy outlined the key components he believes are necessary for Ukraine to be in a strong enough position to start potential negotiations with Russia, reports European Pravda. The first component is a stable front. Quote, "It may seem very simple, but it is challenging. It means that Russia no longer has an army capable of advancing," unquote. The second key point was the training, equipping, and coordination of new brigades promised by Ukraine's partners. However, Zelenskyy noted that this process is not progressing as expected based on the agreements made. Financial support comes next. The fourth point Zelenskyy mentioned was the need for credible security guarantees to prevent Russia from launching another attack on Ukraine in the near future. Quote, "We need a clear position without any surprises. We need to know what security guarantees we'll have. We have around 8 million people abroad. How will they return to support the economy and pay taxes if they don't know what will happen tomorrow?" unquote, Zelenskyy emphasized. Another component is the strong position of the new administration in the United States, one that is ready to strengthen Ukraine and impose all-out sanctions against Russia. We would really appreciate if you could recommend us to your friends and family, as well as share information on social media. This way more people would learn about the podcast and truth about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Meanwhile, the situation on the front lines remains complicated for the Ukrainian forces. The Ukrainian open-source intelligence initiative Deep State informs that Russian troops captured villages of Trudove and Uspenivka in Donetsk Oblast, completing the occupation of the last fragment of the Uspenivka pocket, reports Union. Unfortunately, not all Ukrainian troops were able to break out of the encirclement. This issue, as Deep State notes, remains on the conscience of those who allowed this situation to happen. Currently, the enemy is regrouping in the occupied area and has also become more active on the flanks of the new potential pocket. At the same time, the United Kingdom estimates that Russia has lost over 750,000 military personnel killed and wounded in Ukraine, with this figure expected to reach 1 million in 6 months. Ukrainian online state services experienced massive cyber attack, reports NV. Deputy Prime Minister for European and Euro-Atlantic Integration of Ukraine, Minister of Justice Olga Stefanishina, called this, quote, the largest cyber attack on state registries in recent times, unquote. As a result of the attack carried out by Russian hackers, the work of key systems of the Ministry of Justice has been temporarily suspended. Specialists are working to counter the cyber attack and restore the systems. Hackers claim that they stole and deleted more than 1 billion lines of data in total, including data stored in Poland. Due to the attack, more than 20 services are temporarily unavailable in the DIA application that provides online services to the Ukrainians. Thank you for listening to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast. We're a commercial initiative of just two people and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we are getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.